Hi, George here, and we're inside of Affinity. This is the pixel section, basically the same thing as Affinity Photo in previous versions. And I wanted to show you how to handle an impossible mask. Let's say I wanted to remove this background in here and replace with a sky background. There are a lot of things you can try. I normally don't like using the magic wand because it tends to give you really jagged edges on things. It's not very clean. I could also try using an alpha mask on this by basically duplicating this layer, make that very high contrast, and try to use the alpha channel and use that to create a mask. It's several more steps, a bit more work than I really want to do on this one. I prefer a real simple solution. So our best option is to try to make a selection of this and then make a layer mask for that. So select the layer, over here to the object selection tool right here, and give this a minute to think about this and figure out what's in the picture and to see how well we can do here inside of Affinity Photo. Okay, it can spot that middle section, it spots that section, and then out here, it's having a real hard time finding those feathers. I can try to move it around, try to get a better spot. But as you can see here, it's picking up a lot of what's in between those different parts of the feather. So we're picking up a lot of background, and it just doesn't understand this picture. It can't figure that out. But there is a way around this, and it requires using some AI, and that requires going outside of Affinity Photo, making the mask out there, and then going back in here to finish your project. Okay, switch over to Aiarty Image Matting, which is the sponsor for this video, and let's see how well that program can handle this. Okay, here we are inside of Aiarty Image Matting. And if you want to find out more about this program, I have a complete video all about how this program works. I'll put a link for that in the description. I'll also put a link to their website and a link for a discount code, and both of those will be at the top of the description. Okay, let's bring in our picture here, and it's right there. There we go. Okay, the first thing you have to do in here is to decide on your AI model. We have several different options, but I found that edge clear usually works out the best for me most of the time. It's very good at your edge and sharpness, better detail preservations. That's the one I normally go for, unless I have transparency, in which case I would try the alpha standard or alpha edge. Okay, so back to the edge clear. We then normally would come down here and do a selection of the area that our subject is in. Normally I'll do the manual because it's just a lot faster than the AI detect. Just fill a rectangle around whatever it is, but this fills up the whole image. So I don't need to bother with this part of that or do any refinements in here. These are specialty cases that normally aren't going to be needed. So let's just go ahead and we'll do our AI inference. And this is where the AI actually goes in and figures the whole thing out and lets us preview that before saving it out. So come down, we'll click on Start and let this do its inference. And again, this is where all the AI magic happens. Now, one thing about this program, which I really love, is that it runs completely on your computer. That does mean it can be a bit slower than an online solution. It depends upon the speed of your computer. The faster your computer, the faster this is going to run. But the nice thing about that is if you're working with client images, those images stay on your computer. They're not getting uploaded onto some AI server online and then brought back down to you, which can be a security risk when you're working with somebody else's, like a client's images. Also, you can do batch processing in this. I can set up several pictures, get the inference done on several pictures, and then do the export on those all at exactly the same time. But the main time involved here is just that inference, and we're just past that right now. So it's actually not that bad. Okay, here we go. It has found that feather and has taken the background out. You can see it right there. Did a real nice job. Now we can come in and actually change the background right here if you wanted to. Just click on background up here. You can go for a solid color. Here's a solid white, but we already had that. Or click over here and we can choose a picture. Here's a sky picture. This is the picture I'll be using. And as you can see, it looks perfect in there. But I want to be doing this over inside of Affinity Photo and not here. So what I really want is just the basic image with no background on that. And we can do that very easily. Now, when you export here, you're going to be getting three things. You'll get the mask at the top all by itself, which means you can come in and clean the mask up if you need to. You'll be getting the image with the background removed right down here. And you'll also get an effect with a white background as the default. I could change that, but I'll leave it at the default of white background. So we'll be getting those three pieces in any case. And the middle one is what I want for our project. Okay, let's come down to export settings and double check this. Format, we have PNG 8, PNG 16, and JPEG. Your best quality is PNG 16. And since Affinity handles 16 bits, no problem. That's really good. You can come down here to output path. You can browse to a new path if you want to, or you can open your existing path, whatever you like. I put a special path in here previously for my previous discussion on this program. So let's go ahead, we'll change that. Browse is right here. I'm going to go back just to the default folder right here. and choose select folder and then single export. And this goes very fast because all the work has already been done. And here we go. Here's our 3 pieces. And notice that this comes in giving you a new folder based upon the name of your photo. If I had several images as a batch, it would put all those things into one folder for me, so everything would be in the one folder. Okay, let's close this down and bring up Affinity Photo. And here's Affinity. The photo part of this is Pixel right there. Same thing as Affinity Photo. Go up to File and Open, and you'll find it in your default Users folder. And Matting right there, that's the default folder for Aiarty Image Matting. Let's open this one up. And here's the Peacock Feather folder. There we go. Let me just go ahead and bring all 3 of these in. Choose Open. There's our mat. Notice how even the real fine edges of the feathers over here, it caught all of that detail. Here's the image on a solid white background. And then here's the image with a transparent background. We'll be using this picture right here. This is basically what I wanted to get to. So let's open up our sky picture now. There's a peacock image that's come down a little bit, and we'll use this background right there. Choose Open. There we go. Let's bring back up our peacock with the transparency. I'm just going to float this window like that. Just drag that tab down, float it. That way I can grab that background, drag it over here, and drop it on. There we go. And let's just get this out of the way. And all we need now is just to come in and resize this. I can either make this larger to fit the background photo, or make the background photo smaller to fit this. Let's just do kind of a combination. I'm going to pull the corner down here until it's at its max height, like that. I'll center this. And at this point, I either can cut off the edges outside here, basically crop in the picture, or I can extend the picture to match that, or go a little bit outside. Again, it's up to you how you want to handle this. Let's see what stretching it does. We'll go like that. And that still looks good. So it's now going off the top and bottom, but it still works fine for what my image is in my mind. And as you can see, very easy to do these impossible mats by stepping outside of Affinity and going over and using Aiarty Image Matting. Now, you don't have to do that very often with Affinity because Affinity does very good masking. It's actually my favorite program for normal masking jobs. I use this over Photoshop any day of the week. But some things it just can't do, and this is one of those. But we can fix this by using the AI. And again, if you want to find out more about the Aiarty Image Matting program, I have a link for that at the top of the description. There's also a discount link there. Go ahead and check that out. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up, give the video a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe. I'm doing new videos all the time, and I'll see you next time.